Life moves at different speeds, depending on who is doing the living. On one end of the spectrum, the Dolania Mayfly spends its entire adult existence in under 5 minutes. It finds a mate, deposits its eggs over still water, and vanishes before the light has shifted. No memory, no tomorrow, no yesterday. Gastrotrix, microscopic animals invisible to the naked eye, are born, reproduce, and die within 72 hours, their entire arc compressed into a long weekend. We begin here at the very bottom of the biological clock, in the realm of creatures measured not in years, not in months, but in days, hours, and in some cases, minutes. Some animals take months to live a complete life, not an abbreviated one, but the full arc from birth to reproduction to death, compressed into a single season. The annual killifish of sub-Saharan Africa hatches when the rains arrive, grows to maturity, breeds in warm shallows, and is dead before the next drought. Its eggs lie dormant in dried mud, waiting months or even years for the rains to return. The species does not die. Only the individual does, quickly, on purpose, as though the blueprint always intended it. The male Antechinus mates so intensively during a concentrated 2-week frenzy that its own immune system collapses under corticosteroid poisoning. It bleeds internally. Its fur falls out. It dies exhausted, every reserve spent, having given everything to the act of continuation. Beyond these brief, violent existences lies the world of small mammals, shrews, rats, hamsters, weasels, where life is measured in 2 or 3 years at most. The common shrew must eat nearly its own body weight every single day, simply to keep its heart running. Speed is the price of smallness. For most mammals under a kilogram, time is the rarest commodity of all. As body mass increases, so too does lifespan, roughly, imperfectly, but consistently enough to constitute a pattern. A domestic rabbit outlives its wild counterpart by a factor of 4. A domestic dog outlives the wolf in the field by nearly twice. The big cats, lions, tigers, leopards, manage a decade or 2 if disease, injury, and competition allow. They are peak performance machines built for intensity, not endurance. A cheetah at 12 has already outlasted most of its kind. Yet even here, captivity reveals the same biological truth. The environment consumes life far faster than the body demands. By the time we reach the mute swan, gliding serenely into its mid-20s, alongside the same partner it has kept for decades, we have crossed a threshold. From here, time, not speed, becomes the defining pressure. Past the 30-year mark, the biological calculus begins to shift in ways that challenge every assumption about how animals are supposed to age. A naked mole rat lives 30 years, 10 times longer than any rodent of its size has any right to. It burrows through dry East African soil, barely feels pain, shows no measurable increase in mortality risk as it ages, and is virtually immune to cancer. The Komodo dragon patrols its island with the patience of something that has nowhere urgent to be. Gorillas, chimpanzees, and orangutans approach human lifespans not because they are exceptional, but because social intelligence and cooperative living dramatically reduce the individual cost of staying alive. An African gray parrot can outlive the person who raised it. An orca grandmother may lead her pod for 30 years after her own reproduction has ceased. Her memory, a living library of feeding grounds, and dangers her grandchildren would not recognize without her. Longevity here is not a curiosity. It is an active survival strategy, selected over millions of years, because accumulated experience is worth more to the group than any single season of reproduction. The deeper we move into this list, past the condors, past the crocodiles unchanged since the Triassic, the more apparent it becomes that the mammal's supposed monopoly on long life is a very incomplete picture. At 100 years, a humpback whale is not old. It is, by most measures, middle-aged. A green sea turtle at 80 may not yet have reproduced for the first time. A blue whale carries in the layered wax of its ears a chemical record of every ocean it has crossed, every pollutant absorbed, every decade of a 90-year life. A biological autobiography written in fat. But whales and turtles are merely the threshold. The American lobster shows no measurable cellular aging. It grows larger every year, continues to reproduce, and there is no known biological mechanism that requires it to stop. The orange roughy was commercially fished for decades before biologists realized they were harvesting 150-year-old animals. The ocean quahog clam named Ming was 507 years old when researchers accidentally killed it while counting its growth rings. These are not exceptional individuals. These are the normal lifespans of their species. And then there are three animals for whom the concept of a lifespan, a fixed arc with a beginning, a middle, and an end, may not apply at all. The bowhead whale, which opens this final section, is merely the last of the mortals. 200 years old, still swimming, its body carrying iron harpoon tips from hunts conducted in the early 19th century. Beyond it lies something biologists are not yet certain how to classify.